Shalom, everybody. It is Bear with BearIndependent.com. You all know that because you were here. Got a lot to go through today. I want to thank our staff at BearIndependent.com for putting together this intel report. I want to thank all of you all for supplying the intel. I want to thank the brother that gave me this Glenlivet 14 year. You're tremendous, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. I need a pokey. There's a pokey. And what else do I want to thank? Praise Yah for sunshine and fence. We got a lot done today. We got brisket in our bellies. Nobody's trying to kill us. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lots of good in the world. There's still lots of good in the world. All right. We're going to jump right into the brief. If you would like to see the entirety of this brief, it's available on Patreon. Go to patreon.com and just look for Bear Independent. You'll find us there. $1 or more per month gets you access to all these briefs, plus a minimum of 24 exclusive pieces of content per month. Thank you to the patrons for making this possible. We have lots of new viewers both on YouTube and on Patreon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am amazed by the growth of the channel. Frankly, I wish that it wasn't under such circumstances, but I'm glad you're here. So, with that being said, let's get into it. 2 or more eyewitness accounts, continuity of infrastructure. Many are continuing to receive essential business personnel travel permission letters, placards, etc., to continue critical infrastructure operations and supply. We're seeing this over and over and over again. And as we've stated before, you don't issue permits for something unless you intend to regulate it or limit it. And so in this case, we're already seeing around the nation that there's literally right now, there is travel being restricted all over the place. As many more people are working from home, many have reported frustratingly slow connection speeds. Work is still getting done remotely, but due to abnormal network traffic, it may not be as efficient as before in some areas. Supply chain and industry. More truckloads are moving, but there are delays in ocean freight. Many places have a 14-day quarantine before offloading requirements. Can't say I disagree with that. And air freight is drastically reduced. You think? You think? It makes sense. Non-essential supply chains are mostly paused for the moment. Bear facts are not paused for the moment. I got a whole stack of stuff that's got to go out. We just placed a gigantic order for IFAC stuff today. So if you're anticipating your suburban neighborhood being filled with gunshots, and I pray to God that it's not, but if you need a blowout kit, you can get one from us or anybody else, but you can get one from us at BearIndependent.com. Our supply chain is not affected at this point, praise the Most High. But apparently elsewhere they are. From manufacturing to transportation to sales, a lot of people are pressing pause. Legal and political, this is a repeat. Many reports of many different states seriously considering or already instituting essential services only travel restrictions. Many states with stay-at-home or shelter-in-place orders currently or soon to be enacted. California, New York, Illinois, Ohio, Connecticut, Oregon, Louisiana, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Delaware, Michigan, Virginia, and the rest of them probably soon as well. Philadelphia, St. Louis, Kansas City, New Orleans, San Miguel County, Colorado, Athens, Clark, Georgia County, Blaine, Idaho, and Dallas County, Texas. Dallas County, Texas. But we're so Texan here in Texas. Yeah, y'all just stay home for a little while, right? Curfews have been enacted in various places, including the entire state of Pennsylvania.
I am so glad I am not there anymore.
Including the entire state of Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Yep. Yankee Survival, great YouTube channel. The entire state of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and select cities and counties in central Georgia and North Carolina. Maryland, Virginia, D.C., and other states are asking their residents to stay at home. These requests are not orders, but when not followed, they do become orders, often by the urging of the citizens. Missouri citizens recently submitted a petition to their governor to enact such a policy. Missouri asked to make people stay home? Okay. Some places are beginning to place restrictions on incoming visitors. Proof of residency is required. We talked about this a week ago, that this was going to happen. Let's drink some 14-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey. Pinky up. Pinky up. Oh, yeah.
It's a good day.
Oh, yeah. It's a good day. We put up half an acre of sheep fence today. And we ate some brisket today. And we packed some bear facts today. And what else did we do? I think that's about it. I fed animals. And
Sheep are happy.
did some patrolling. Did a bunch of stuff. We stayed busy, basically from sun up till now. And then we got Men's Group Monday coming up after this. So it has been a good day. Even as the world tries to collapse around us, it has been a good day.
Praise Yah.
Praise Yah. Panning back this way. There we go. All right. New Jersey has ordered all brick and mortar gun and ammo stores to close and has stopped all firearms transfers and all access to NICS. Gun stores have not been deemed essential businesses under the current restrictions. The state will also be releasing 1,000 inmates to curb coronavirus risk. Those are good combinations. Let's make it impossible for people to acquire weapons and let criminals out of prison at the same time. In northeastern Oklahoma and northwestern Arkansas, prisoners are actively being released right now, and surprise, surprise, crime rates are going through the roof. That's cool. That's why we have guns. In New Jersey, apparently, you're not able to make that equation. You can't have released inmates plus guns.
Firearm sales are up in PA too.
Yep. Firearm sales are up in Pennsylvania. The Colorado governor has ordered non-critical workplaces to reduce their in-person workforce by 50% from 3/24 through 4/10. So 24 March through 10 April. Let's just send 50% of all the people home. North Carolina governor ordered close contact businesses, for example, salons, to close by 5 p.m. Wednesday. Some citizens are urging the governor to give shelter-in-place orders. School closures have been extended to mid-May. Ohio governor ordered an immediate hiring freeze in the state government to mitigate damage to the state's budget during this time. Okay. The budget's going to go to hell in a handbasket anyway, but roger that. Many tribal nations have made emergency declarations in recent days and shut down non-essential businesses. Trials are being postponed in many areas. I can attest to that firsthand. Not that I'm in law enforcement or the judicial system, but I know people who are, and I have heard directly from them. And they're like, yeah, basically the judicial system is like, don't call us, we'll call you. Dallas residents are relying on an online reporting system for nonviolent crimes, and an officer will likely not be dispatched. Nonviolent crimes include property theft and reckless damage. Yay. Accounts of abnormal military movement continue. This is to be expected with many canceled drills and exercises and the activation of the National Guard to aid in crisis response. In Kirtland, New Mexico, active duty personnel are now required to remain within 1 hour of their residence at all times to respond to the installation on short notice for ongoing operations or public health evaluation. Medical. Mobile morgue trailers are being deployed near U.S. major cities. These are designed specifically for the purpose of handling morgue overflow if a facility is over capacity or under construction or experiencing a cooler outage. A cooler outage, because you got to keep everybody cool. Michigan governor stated that the COVID-19 tests in the state are inadequate. They're inadequate everywhere, but at least the Michigan governor is willing to admit it. Many places have similar scenes at the hospital. Similar scenes at their hospitals, no or very limited visitation, temp checks as you walk through the door, drive-through coronavirus testing. Per an RN, don't come to the ER for testing. You will be sent away. PPE, personal protective equipment, is running out or running low. Distributors that are price gouging or hoarding. Do I need to see that? Is that for me?
That was from yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I actually included that in our report yesterday.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Individuals with PPE to spare are encouraged to provide them to their local hospitals where it is needed most. PPE is running out or running low. Distributors that are price gouging or hoarding warehouses of PPE will likely face governmental action, as this will cost lives. Bay County, Florida, less than 50 ICU beds and 30 ventilators. The area is still dealing with devastation from Hurricane Michael 18 months later. We deployed there with Grindstone twice. That's where I met you for the first time.
This individual's grandparents lived 2 blocks up the road from that church.
That's right. What a coincidence. What a coincidence.
Yep.
Societal in general. Many stores are out of meat, paper products, milk, and other essential items early in the day throughout the country, especially where there is no rationing in place to prevent hoarding. Many making special hours for the elderly. That's a good thing. Stores have reduced hours in many places. Some have attempted to reduce the number of patrons at one time. We, on the other hand, are making more pasture, making more garden space, making more strategic connections with people around us. I have discussed yesterday with somebody the acquisition of calves to butcher at a later date, and was on the phone with somebody earlier today for the same reason. And so this is what we have been teaching and preaching the last couple of years, positions of strength. I have zero interest in the world looking the way that it looks right now. I really, really wish that it didn't look the way that it looks right now. And this is not me saying, I told you so. I'm not doing that. What I am saying is I'm illustrating the point that we've been making for a couple of years now, that I honestly wish I didn't have to. That now, because we have been taking ownership of our supply chain, I mean, we're called Bear Independent for a reason, because our goal has been to become so wildly independent from the system that we don't notice when it goes away. And are we there yet? No. I honestly thought we would have a lot more time than we've had thus far. But we are less impacted by the system falling apart than a lot of people are. Praise the Father. And because of that, that puts us in a position of strength that we can now buy more animals, till more land, put up more fence, deploy assets against opportunities. And I'm thankful for that. I just wish that we were doing it because we wanted to, not because we have to. Dine out and takeout options are often still an option at many restaurants. Reports of locals trying to support local businesses this way when they can. Some places are not releasing inmates due to the virus, but taking measures to prevent new additions to the jail. There's a lot of that going on. Around the country, people are basically not being arrested unless there is actual threat to somebody's life, which is crazy. We're starting to live in a prepper novel, and it's kind of weird. I really need to talk to American, Franklin Horton. I should send Horton an email. Just be like, hey, bro, what is going on?
Dude, I need to write a book.
Yeah, you need. I'm going to write a book, and it's just going to be fact. Like, this is what happened. Fact. And 100 years from now, people are going to be like, this work of fiction is incredible. Like, no, this is actually what happened. Oh,
this is
gosh.
a biography.
Yeah, this is actually what happened. Burglary in Santa Clarita, California, in broad daylight. The victim was wounded by a gunshot, and the thief made off with some goods. Now, listen. Stuff like this happens all the time, unfortunately, but this is why we go strapped everywhere, before the end of the world and after the end of the world. I've been chastised for constantly displaying my sidearm on camera just to prove that I have it, but I have it. Some areas and schools are considering canceling school for the rest of the year, including graduation and prom. North Carolina, in particular, has closed schools until 15 May. Police, sheriff, and state troopers are enforcing travel restrictions. Fines are the most often mentioned ramification, but this is starting to happen. Some places that do not have rationing wish that they did. People are having a hard time getting their regular groceries due to unprepared panic hoarding. Rationing is spreading. A real-life example of this is that in many places, each customer is allowed only one of the following items: bleach, soap, hand sanitizer, paper goods, plates, cups, flushable wipes, baby wipes, diapers, bread, water, and eggs. In New York, my home state from back in the day. Born and raised in upstate New York. Mom was Pennsylvania Dutch. Dad was from the middle of the country. Yeah, Pennsylvania Dutch is really just German, but people don't know how to say Deutsch, so they just made it Dutch. So, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Thanks for having one too many glasses of wine back in the day, getting that twinkle in your eye, and here we are many, many years later. I'm deeply appreciative of the fact that y'all couldn't keep it in your pants. Couldn't have done it without you, literally. But anyway, my dad's from the Midwest, my mom's from upstate New York, and here I am. There is, I've just been handed this. New Jersey to release up to 1,000 inmates. This is from CNN, the Communist News Network. New Jersey will release up to 1,000 inmates from county jails on Tuesday to fight the spread of coronavirus. Chief Justice Stuart Rabner signed an order Sunday approving the release of inmates serving time for low-level crimes. The order does not commute sentences, but rather temporarily suspends them. Unprecedented times call for rethinking the normal way of doing things, and in this case it means releasing people who pose little risk to their communities for the sake of public health and the dignity of people who are incarcerated. Amal Singha, executive director of the ACLU of New Jersey, said in a statement. Thank you. No, I said the word wrong and then I just went with it. Israeli doctor in Italy from the Jerusalem Post. We no longer help those over 60. Rationing. Death panels. Yay. So, but there is good news that we're going to be getting to shortly. In New York, there is no ammo, no toilet paper, no bread, no canned goods, no rice, no pasta or hot dogs on the shelves. Non-essentials have been shut down as New York City healthcare is already overrun. 43 deaths and 15,168 cases at the time of this writing. In our natural disasters column, just a reminder, tornado season is gearing up May through June, wildfire season June through August, and hurricane season June through November. Now, we have myriad single-hand accounts here that we're not going to dive into. Those are available on Patreon, patreon.com. Just search for Bear Independent. You will find us. The entirety of this report is available in text format on patreon.com. And you know what? You can copy paste it. Just let people know where you got it from. Bear Independent. Okay, Miscellaneous. Picture submitted of an official-looking sign reading COVID-19 separation facility. This was sent in from somebody that we know in the state of Virginia. COVID-19 separation facility. For real life, bro. One viewer witnessed a few hundred identical, all-white, completely unmarked, unbranded semi-trucks on the road, all without license plates, going through a police checkpoint at the edge of Arizona and California. No other trucks were going through the checkpoint. One viewer had ammunition held in quarantine at a FedEx facility while medical professionals tested the package for viruses. It just happened to be 1,000 rounds of 5.56 62-grain steel core. Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice.
That's what I use.
LAP, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So, Bear Nation, have any of y'all heard or seen of testing for mailed packages? I can tell you that we're keeping our stuff outside for a few days before we bring it inside. So, as it arrives, that's just what we're doing with it. We actually have a table in the driveway. We just take it off of the truck, put it on the table, let it sit there for a while. So you can email us at intel@bearindependent.com, intel@bearindependent.com. What is it? It's Intel. Intel. At bearindependent.com. Actionable intel as well. That's a good point because we do correlate all of this. And so when we do get the emails that are like, Bear, I witnessed it with my own eyes. The reptilian overlords come up out of that bunker, man, and they all had the tinfoil sombreros on, and they was just walking around with them ray guns trying to pilot them little orb things that fly out of the woods, and they're doing all this because QAnon is going to take out the cabal for once and for all because there's not going to be any more adrenochrome on this planet. We're like, roger that. We're going to take that report and put it over here. Okay? And so... actionable intel, por favor. All right, international. In the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson announced that from Monday evening, the British people will only be allowed to leave home for the following very limited purposes. Shopping for basic necessities as infrequently as possible. One form of exercise per day. One form. You may not, for example, run and walk. You can only run or walk. Or cycle. Alone, or with a member of your household. Any medical need to provide care or to help with a vulnerable person. Traveling to and from work, but only where this is absolutely necessary and cannot be done from home. Boris Johnson also announced a ban on weddings, baptisms, and other ceremonies, but excluded funerals, and a ban on gatherings of more than 2 people in public, excluding those people who live together. There's never been a better time to form a commune. I'm just saying, if you've always been like, you know what, I'm going to get some matching Nike sneakers and a whole bunch of Kool-Aid, now is the time. And there's a comet coming, I think it's in 2029. So you can all get in your bunk beds with your matching Adidas leisure suits, and when that comet comes over the top, you just, boom, we're out of here.
Or you can build that bunker because, if the earth is split in half, that's going to matter.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, I'm going to take a C5 Galaxy filled with all the people that I love to Antarctica, and I'm going to fly it into the center of the world, into the middle of Earth, because it's safe in there.
That's where all the dinosaurs.
I learned this from Operation High Jump. This is real life. Okay.
Oh, this is also from CNN, but London CNN. This is what they're saying about us.
From London CNN, people in the West are ignoring advice to stay home. That's because it's too confusing, one expert says.
Yeah.
Shut up, London. How about we get into another world war that we bail you out of? Okay, cool. Thanks, bro.
This is great. This is real life.
This is real life. This is real life. What else are we doing? UK police, public health, and immigration officers now have powers to detain anyone suspected of being infected with coronavirus. In Canada, Ontario, what's this all about, eh? To close all non-essential businesses as of 11:59 Tuesday, 24 March 2020 for a period of 14 days, eh? Grocery stores and pharmacies and gas stations, those are to remain open, as well as all emergency services. The Alberta RCMPs, which is the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, have been instructed to do fewer patrols, which is good. It's better for the horses. Less interaction with public and more phone policing. Hey, are y'all okay in there? We don't say y'all because we're up here in Canada. Hey, are you guys okay? Okay, just checking. If he's trying to kill you, you just go ahead and die, all right? Okay. Several news sources now reporting in China, cell phones are necessary for many parts of life, pensions, social security, train tickets, purchases, shopping, etc. 21 million cell phone accounts and 840,000 landlines in China were dropped from November to February, per the Chinese Minister of Industry and Information Technologies assessment. That's a freaking mouthful. Dealing with the government for pensions and social security, buying train tickets, shopping, no matter what people want to do, they are required to use cell phones. Even if half to 2/3 of those accounts were legitimate closures, the remaining numbers would still be greater than the reported coronavirus deaths. More disconfirmations. The general from the National Guard is continuing to say, bro, we're not trying to enact martial law. Everybody just simmer down. What we are hearing over and over and over again is where the Guard is being deployed, is that they're being deployed without ammo and without weapons in support roles for medical personnel. That's what we're hearing. However, we're also, and that's from the guardsmen themselves. Guardswomen, guard furries. Do they have a third bathroom at the Guard yet? How many genders are in the garden?
I don't know.
80,
Man.
82?
At least 3.
At least 3.
That's the
Boy, girl, furry, I think is the minimum. I don't know. I'm not woke. I'm very unwoke. Speaking of woke, the toddler just woke up from a nap. This could get terrible, y'all. Hang in there. 37,000 troops had plans to go to Germany for a massive training event to demonstrate mobilization capabilities. Turns out that would have been Germany's hotspot. Reported on this yesterday. So all that was canceled. This would explain a large amount of military vehicles being moved around the country. Rail transport is much cheaper than filling them all with fuel and paying 2 soldiers per vehicle to drive. Let's move on to actionables and then the good news. The toddler has found Oreos. Repeat, the toddler has found Oreos.
Man, Ram Clan asked for that double stuffed resupply days ago.
They're diet Oreos, don't worry. They're diet Oreos. Anything less than double stuffed is a diet Oreo. Many with mental illnesses are struggling more under current circumstances. We should please pray for these people. Warning, thefts and robberies are increasing. Some viewers have reported witnessing opportunity scoping by very shady characters and or meth heads. Multiple events more expected with increasing economic pressure and reduced police response to nonviolent events, such as property theft. Please note, this is the worst place in the world to even think about something like that because we will ventilate you. Trespassing still results in deading. Hashtag robust compost pile. Thank you. Let's do that again. Take 2. Hashtag robust compost pile. There we go.
Ram Clan.
Bear Clan. Oh my goodness. Even nonviolent intentions can quickly turn violent due to unexpected turns of events during a crime. Yes, absolutely. If you think you're going to rob me, and I think you're going to rob me, it's going to turn very violent very quickly. Warning, this is happening both in the U.S. and abroad. Posers are knocking on doors pretending to, 1, sell fake coronavirus testing kits, and 2, offering testing in exchange for Medicare numbers, credit card numbers, other, and or 3, enter premises and commit robbery. Again, robust compost pile.
You shouldn't be letting anybody inside your house anyway right now.
Amen. Why are you here?
Rod, obviously.
Official advice, never, quote, let's use the official voice. Quote, never accept a coronavirus test from someone who comes to your door, approaches you at the grocery store, in a parking lot, or other location, calls offering a mail-in test in exchange for money, or a Medicare number, or calls to request to your bank card or account information to pay for a test. People should call police immediately. Not that they'll do anything, but people should call police immediately if someone knocks on their door to offer medical testing. You should answer your door with a loaded Mossberg 500 and be like, can I help you? You're trespassing. And if they don't just turn and run, bang, chicka, bang. That's the Bears' official advice. Silver linings. Organizations and individuals are making way for elderly and immune compromised. People shopping for others who cannot. From special store hours to schools providing free meals to everyday neighborly assistance, people are caring for one another. Praise the Father. This is what I'm talking about. If you have good news, please mail us.
Real quick.
Intel
Last thing.
at bearindependent.com. You got something that's not good news? Send it. You want to talk? You want to talk to the people?
So this is coming from a friend of mine that lives in Pennsylvania.
Right.
The governor of Pennsylvania has banned the transportation of firearms. So even if you have a concealed carry permit, my understanding with the emergency declaration, you're in violation.
Thank you.
So I wouldn't be leaving my house regardless, but I'm not there, so not my problem.
Right. Hashtag Okie. You're now an Okie. Thank you for bringing that up. Also worthy mention, there's 1,100 of you here and only 205 thumbs up. I guess math is hard, but you could click the button. I did all the impressions for you.
WTF, YouTube?
Yeah, YouTubes, for real. This reminds me of my project manager, the Crazy Canuck. He's got a pretty good channel, I like that guy a lot. I love him as a brother. He's a pretty good guy. I like him. Yeah, plus he brings a nice bottle of scotch to the project, you know, the project, I should mean. 366, that's much better, thank you. By the way, you can also share this with all of your friends who are quarantined at home and don't have anything better to do anyway. So, I mean, not quite as sexy as Netflix and chill, but it's something. It's something. House Bill 5717.
Oh boy.
Hank Johnson. I'm concerned that it might tip over and capsize. You mean the island of Guam? Yes. Okay, that moron. Basically, in a nutshell, HB 5717 is like all the gun bans ever, all the time. Simply put, please do your own homework on this. It's atrocious, and we need to do whatever we can to stop it.
That's federal level, not state level.
Yeah, because I mean,
for everyone.
That's straight up tyranny. A lot of what we've talked about is definitely within the federal authority during a state of emergency. Love it or hate it, it's within the federal authority during a time of a state of emergency. HB 5717 is just tyranny. It's just tyranny. It's got to go.
Hey, man, I have a great idea.
Yeah?
You're new to having guns, so you don't have any, but in order for you to buy a gun, you have to take a live fire test.
Perfect.
Because that makes sense.
I lost all my guns in a tragic boating accident. Right.
Yeah.
So get up to speed on that. We got to make that go away. All right. I'm going to read some good stuff. I'm going to pan back over this way. You good?
Go for it.
Whoop. There we go. All right. People around the world are gardening and homesteading with success. New and innovative garden beds, greenhouses, livestock pens and offspring, rehabilitated calves, etc. Many are prepared to be a light in the darkness. Preps are being put to good use, such as sharing PPE and toilet paper with immunocompromised neighbors. Many are planting gardens, putting up food and water, finishing homestead projects, gathering family and connecting with the youngest generation. Neighbors and neighborhoods are coming together, forming mags and beginning to socialize, even if they must yell across the street from their lawn chairs to do it. Praise Yah. People are cooking again. The foodscape of America just got homier. Love that word. Good job, Intel staff. Garden center workers seeing a huge increase in people realizing the importance of gardening, being willing to ask for guidance and start now. People with difficult situations are receiving aid. For example, a pregnant woman laid off from restaurant work has been given a free month of rent from her landlord. Restaurant owners refusing to take paychecks until their servers can, and huge increases in tips. Many are either still working or are able to work from home. Others are getting increases in pay or unlimited overtime. In select areas, the weather is beautiful and the society is virus-free. Even many affected areas are still peaceful and mostly stocked. Many of us are still able to obtain store goods, firearms parts, and background checks. I'll tell you this, I have been so humbled walking through the store in the brief times, days ago that I've done it, to see an empty store, what we would consider an empty store, and just think, not, oh wow, they don't have my brand of cereal, and it's like, praise the Father they have cereal, right? Or like, they don't have the type of milk that I like. It's like, praise the Father they have milk, right? And so we spoiled Americans, man, I'm telling you, if you need some perspective, go walk through Walmart and be thankful. And I'm not saying you should, because you might get COVID-19 and die nowadays, but at least virtually think about walking through Walmart. It'll humble you. It'll humble you if you know what you're looking at. What you're seeing is humanity trying to mitigate the damage of this thing. And we've taken for granted our largesse and how well we've had it for so long. This is a good reminder. This is a very good reminder that we think, you know, America first and divine providence and all that. And yes, all of that. But man, we got soft. We got soft. I don't like that kind of toilet paper. Here's your new toilet paper. Okay? This. Or pick that one that you don't like. I don't like that kind of cookie. I don't like that kind of granola bar. Don't care, bro. Suck it up. Praise the Father, you have calories to put in your belly. This is good because we nerfed so many edges of society and things got a little bit dangerous again. And that's good because this creates an opportunity for good men and good women to step into, to lean into the opportunity to do things that matter.
Hard men make easy time.
Yeah. It's time for another generation of hard men. Which, there will be a baby boom in about 9 months from now, so... But all right, cool.
Good job, Netflix.
Good job, Netflix. Long-awaited adoption has taken place and grandbabies are being born. Praise the Father. Many have found long-sought impetus to quit long-term smoking addiction, fulfill dreams to move to small farming communities, begin gardening, and more. Many completed critical medical care. For example, heart operations, cancer treatments prior to SHTF. Others have received a new lease on life. Government workers are noting both Republicans and Democrats are working harder and working together. One viewer taught a dying blind calf to take a bottle with sugared apple whiskey. The calf looks fully rehabilitated. Congrats, Clover. I think I need to be a dying blind calf. There's sugared apple whiskey on the other end of that. So, Clover, call me. Many lives have been saved due to some abortion clinics suspending operations. Praise the Father.
Amen.
Praise the Father.
Many states are halting abortions because it's elective.
Good.
Amen. Many states are halting abortions altogether because it's an elected procedure. And we know from Proverbs 6 that the shedding of innocent blood is an abomination to the Most High. So praise the Father. Thank you for silver linings. People are beginning to see the value of being prepared and will become a stronger and more ready generation. Amen. Children are free from public education, learning to get along with family, garden, cook, and play outside again. The air is cleaner due to less traffic and people are enjoying nature again. People are reconnecting with their faith and getting less flack for it. Amen. The Father is still sovereign over all of this. This channel and others are bringing people together to stay informed and encouraged at a distance. Prepared people are seeing their loved ones preparing themselves and concerns are being alleviated. Spouses are coming on board and thanking their prepared weirdos. And on a related note, we will be welcoming many new bundles of hope into the world within the next year. Praise Yah. And thank you, Bear Independent staff. You boys and girls are totally badass, and I could not do this without you. Thank you to the patrons. You can get this at patreon.com. Just look for that logo, Bear Independent. Thank you, boys and girls, for being here. I am so heartened to have good news. Good news. If you have good news or news in general, intel at bearindependent.com. Intel at bearindependent.com. Intel at bearindependent.com. Where?
Intel at bearindependent.com.
That's a good answer. That's a really good answer. It's almost like you've been paying attention. Kind-ish, this much. Let's talk to our Creator. Father God, thank you for everybody within the sound of my voice. Thank you for a good day. Father, thank you for the fact that even though the world is losing its collective mind, that you are still sovereign over all of this, and that even though we have no freaking idea what is going on, you do. Thank you for creating us in your image fearfully and wonderfully. Thank you for putting us here in this four-dimensional space-time to be the things that we were created to be for you, Father. Thank you for redemption through Yeshua. Thank you for his atoning sacrifice. Thank you for the opportunity to do these things and to praise your name and to lift you up, Father, because you are incredible. And I'm thankful to be a little tiny part of what you're doing. Father, I pray that you'd stay indwelt in us, that you would let us be the city on the hill, that you would let us be a light that's not hidden under a basket, that you would show us ways to evangelize, that we would reach people for you, Father, and that many, many more people would come to know you through this. Father, whatever happens, let it be your will, and let us be as okay with your will as humanly possible. And when we are filled with fear and trepidation and loathing and angst and anxiety and pain, Father, send your comforter, the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, to fill us up. Father, if there's anything within the sound of my voice that's not of you, I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach and Jesus the Christ and command it to flee. Father, thank you for everybody within the sound of my voice. In Yeshua's name, amen. Bless y'all. Have a wonderful day. Share this with somebody you love. Let them know there's still some hope out there. There's not some hope. There's all the hope in the world. Because the Father is still sovereign over all, and your sins have still been paid for. And if you just simply acknowledge that and receive your Messiah into your heart and walk in his ways, oh man, life gets really good. Really, really, really good. Even though the world is melting. Shalom, y'all.